Hi again, and welcome to Into the Dark Zone, your weekly digest of everything and anything the division. I'm having some speaking problems tonight. Maybe
I
it's
blame it
because
on
of our later
Thursdays.
new time.
Yep.
This is episode 15, and I'm your host, Champagne. I'm also joined by Spider Monkey
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us.
and Crash Blade.
Guten Abend or Guten Nacht, depending on where you're at, right?
Yes, we have international listeners
Yes,
apparently.
we do.
Right. Well, remember to tweet us at Into the Dark Zone or join our live chat on Twitch too, as we will have a questions and answers segment near the end of our show. First up, we have news and events.
So, from State of the Game today, we have some comments about the maintenance that was supposed to happen. It did not work as planned. The patch that should have been deployed today contained some fixes that did not perform as intended, and therefore the deployment was postponed. Sounds like a good idea. This also impacts Clear Sky. Some potential exploits were found, and before these exploits have not been fixed with the new patch, the challenge mode will not be activated, which is a great idea. In the end, the main reasons to postpone the challenge mode for Clear Sky was to find potential exploits to avoid the problems of Falcon Lost. So, that's delayed until they can fix it. Hopefully just next week. We'll see. It sounded like it might be, but they weren't definitely not giving a definitive date, so... Because, of course, if something else
they're
pops
trying
up...
to be a little more careful.
Yeah,
They,
which I think is
have been
great.
previously. Yeah, that's
But,
ultimately a good thing. Sure.
That's all we have for news this week. It's a short cycle. So it's only
It's
been
going
a
to be
few
a really
days.
short one.
Definitely a short cycle.
It's only been a few days since Saturday. We recorded last.
It is a new time. Okay, well, I guess we'll go from there on to the weekend review.
Yes. All right. So for the weekend review, not much has changed since Saturday, but I have completed myself Falcon Lost on challenge mode,
Awesome.
Clear Skies on hard mode. Did you do hard mode Clear Skies already, Mike? We did it already.
I have
didn't
not. No, I have not tried Clear
No?
Skies yet. I'm
I'm gonna get
really
in
itching
there.
to get in there. Both
Yes.
Sean and I have been crazy busy this
Yeah,
week.
that's-
So it's one of those things we're trying to fit in the time where we can, but with the restrictions that we have, we end up looking like filthy casuals.
Yep.
So,
Oh,
but
man.
yeah, no, I'm itching to get in there.
Let me tell you something.
I did play through a lot of high value target stuff, and in fact, my character hadn't completed all of the actual necessary missions to unlock a lot of that stuff, but I've done that now, so that's at least completed.
Nice.
But yeah, what were you gonna say, Julio?
Perfect. No, I was gonna say, if you continue your path of being a filthy casual, I'm going to disassociate myself from you.
You're gonna have to.
I'm joking. But yeah, we definitely got to get you in there. I know Shango was saying last week when we were talking about the incursion, he said we made it sound so easy, and he said he pugged into an incursion and it took him way too long. And I know exactly what he's talking about because Monday was a Memorial Day here in the States. There was a holiday, so I said, you know what, let me go do Clear Skies again. So I made the mistake of pugging up Clear Sky, and it actually took me just as long as Falcon Lost on a hard mode. Okay, so yes, and this is with the in-game matchmaking. I said, let me try it out, right? But anyway, moving along.
So use Division LFG. You might at least have better.
Yes,
In the game. Yeah.
Yeah, my success has been using the divisionlfg.com. That's where I found my the group that I typically play with. Since you guys want to be filthy casuals, I have to find a group.
So I use my matchmaking system is get in touch with Crashblade
Yes,
Yeah,
and make
yeah.
him get a group together.
definitely. That works.
I usually just say, Tarkle, what are you doing? And then
Yeah.
we go and do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but the daily HVTs, as you covered for the in the news, the daily HVT. I'm gonna bring this up because I had a friend who actually he he got mad because the daily HVT came up and it was completed. Like, dude, this thing reset? The other ones had reset, but that one didn't reset because what they explained in the state of the game a few hours ago is that the way it bugs out is that if you have a friend that picks up let's say, for example, it's us three playing and I pick up the daily HVT,
Mhm.
you guys will get credit for it if you haven't completed it. but that's exactly what actually causes the bug. So we do it, complete it, turn it in. If that daily HVT comes back up tomorrow, it'll still show up as completed in your missions.
Okay.
Exit.
So that's one of the things that are going to be in the fix. But that is why the daily HVT just reset.
It's
does
just
not reset.
clearing that in memory then, really.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Also the devs said that there was some positive changes, or at least from the numbers that they've been looking at since 1.2, that they've had quite a big jump of people back into the open world because of the daily HVTs, the search and destroy missions. And I would have to agree, because we were having, quite a bit of fun doing them. They're actually challenging to some degree. I'm not saying they're completely hard, but they are challenging. The fact that the missions, they rotate the NPCs. You don't ever do, let's say, for example, even though we did one and we did get cleaners twice, they're always rotating. So you can get cleaners once, you can get LMB at another location, you can get the riders or Rikers also. So it just rotates. So that kind of keeps an element of freshness, gives it an element of freshness right to it. So.
And I've enjoyed even the time I had just doing the intel stuff is fun, gathering intel.
Yeah.
In solo, it's fun. It's like it's not hard, but it's not like face rolling it either. So it's it's fun.
I honestly haven't had a chance to get bored at all since some of the new content.
Yeah, I really haven't played a lot either. So
So, but Crash, you sound like you're still very engaged by the game, and you play fairly religiously. So that's a good thing. That's very that's good to hear, because I know that it was getting a little bit stale for all of us.
Yeah.
Before the new content release.
I mean, what helps? What helps is the fact that I still have people in my playlist that play the game, and they're fairly regulars. So that keeps the game, it keeps you motivated to keep playing, because it's not the same when you have a game and you're the only one playing for whatever reason. That motivation's not there. But at least for this game, I love the third person shooting aspect of the game is very crisp. The core fundamentals of the game are there. They're very stable. I find them to be actually very well designed for a third person shooter. So that's why I enjoy the shooting mechanics. I enjoy the weapons. I'm a big gun guy, right? So I love guns. So I like the way the weapons shoot. All the adjustments that you can make with the attachments, what have you. So that adds an element of how can I say this? What's the proper word? Just adding, being able to tweak the weapons just makes it that much more enjoyable, basically, to shoot. But with the new loot system, that definitely has me going, because I was a big fan of Diablo. I still am, but I just don't play it because I play the hell out of it. But definitely the loot system. We covered this last week, so I'm just gonna touch on it real fast. These things are dropping left and right. So I'm at a point where my main guy is almost, I think, at 57 pieces out of 63 in his backpack with the amount of crap that I have. So it's time to start cleaning out.
We need that stash increase.
Yes, the stash needs to
definitely.
I
don't know. I think it's a delicate balance, though, too. We were just talking about this before I got on the show, and the balance between throwing loot at people and actually having loot be valuable.
Yeah.
So, we can all get set pieces galore and everything else, and then you have to, if you really want the best roll for it, you have to do it again and again and again in order to get it. And that was one of the things we were citing as a success of Diablo, except that I remember playing Diablo, and you had to, in order to get the right roll, you, like, even within the range of right roll, you had to spend an incredible amount of time doing it. And I noticed that I didn't have to with this. Like, I have pretty good roll on most of my gear right now, and I didn't have to spend nearly that amount of time. So I'm just wondering if that balance in Diablo is actually a better balance than it is in this game, and whether this balance is actually going to lead to burnout down the road as well on the part of people, because it's like, oh, well, I already have everything that I really want, and because there's no raid, like real raid content. Stop, cat. You're going to chew on my optical cable? I don't think so. Sorry, viewers. Just trying to save myself hundreds of dollars.
Well, I think the key there that you mentioned totally went out of my head when you said cat. Damn it.
I was talking about the lack of raid
Yes.
not helping with the whole burnout side of things, because
I think it's
right
the
now
raid.
an incursion is not raid level content. It's just not.
Right.
No.
Because the gear you're getting, now you're saying it's a really good roll, but is it a really good roll, or does it just seem like a really good roll because it's that much better than what you had before?
I am willing to admit that may be what it is.
The latter?
Maybe
Right.
that I just like it because it's that much better than what I had before.
Right. So you might be in the middle range of what that gear could have been.
Mhm.
We got to
Now,
put out,
I'll-
you know.
Content to supplement as well. I just think
Yeah.
it will inevitably lead to burnout.
And
All right, yeah,
we
because
definitely-
we don't need that gear. Because the gear you've gotten so far is enough to get you through everything that's
do
out
everything.
so far.
Oh, look who we have in here. Tinks, how are you? Okay,
Tinks.
this is the situation. We brought this up in the previous show. I don't know if it was the show before that, but I brought up one of my concerns, that being that as much as I enjoy the game, and with I played it ever since 1.2 came out. I played a considerable amount of time, and I'm still looking for that, for the perfect talents, at least main attributes here and there, so you don't have to re-roll, because obviously we can only roll one talent, right? So if we decide to get a piece with one thing that is lacking another thing, then you're like, crap, I don't want it. Okay,
I
I'll
would
just
really like to
whatever
see that
trash it.
expanded.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry. I mean,
Anyway, but I was about to go off on left field, but whatever. Let's keep it at that. That's the way it is right now. But definitely, where does the game want to go? Does this game want to be like Diablo? Diablo, as much as I like Diablo, which is fun, it's just basically a dungeon crawler. They have these rifts, they have this and they have that, but it's just basically you running around killing animals with this OP set that you have and get as far as you can, right? Does the Division want to go that way? Do you want to be the one that actually goes in and, okay, we're going to shoot left and right, do a few incursions here and there, boom, that's it, do some Dark Zone, and that's the end of the game. Let's hop on to another game. Or do you want to take the game and make all this loot that we're getting now? Do we want to make this expand on it now? We have to put all this gear that we're getting to use, which is what you guys were saying, the conversation we were having before the show. And this is where the whole raid-like content comes in. Okay, so I think we definitely, again, we probably just jumping the gun here. Hopefully there is something like that in the works. And if there isn't, it's definitely something that needs to be considered, because, that's definitely going to determine whether or not, or how this game is going to go.
Even if they kept it at the 4-player or whatever it is now, we just need that extended mission and, difficult, but, multiple bosses and some more mechanics. I have been disappointed by the lack of mechanics so far. I know it's more difficult when you don't have aliens and stuff that you can just do whatever the heck comes to mind, but there's still plenty of things that they could do.
Oh, there's still plenty of creative fodder. Just to insert one thing here. We just put on Twitter a quick poll for people as well, and it's very simple. Hashtag the Division. Do you think that gear is too easy to get now? The answers could be yes, no, or no because RN Jesus. So please follow us on Twitter and participate in that.
He who oversees all games, right? Look,
Tinks
bring up some good points, and this goes back to all the loot drops, which again we're not complaining about, but it's great. And again, this comes back, Mike. You mentioned this before the show. So she's asking, we need to be able to farm certain enemies for certain loot or have it dropping constantly. We definitely need that balance. We need that content, X content, right? Let's call it that actually drops a specific set of gear.
Or at least part of that item. Like the helm comes from that dude over there, and you have to do that. But it's not a helm in this game. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. definitely. We need that because it just adds that much more. It's. I mean, we're old school players, gamers. We're used to the grind, for example, in WoW. And if you see somebody walking around with like this sword or whatever, you're like, oh my god, this person completed this,
Yep.
the raid or whatever, and they got this crazy sword now.
I was just gonna
But
say
you know that,
they could even do it with cosmetic drops, as for all
yeah,
I care. But they need something, like there should be something when you finish
yeah,
something really hard, like maybe challenge mode, clear skies. Not that hard mode,
definitely.
not hard enough. But there should be some way to show that you've done this.
It'd be
Yes.
cool if it was a cosmetic thing that actually
Yeah.
went over
Yeah.
a yellow weapon.
Yeah.
Because
But
as we've said
definitely.
before, those are hideous
Oh,
in many
yeah.
cases.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Like,
because
yeah.
I want to look like that. What was it, African drug lord comment that
Yeah.
we made a while ago? Yeah.
Third world drug lord. Yeah.
I don't mind
Oh
some of
yeah.
them
Yeah.
looking
Gold
like that, but
weapons.
it's like, why are they all gold?
Yeah.
Midas, so it made sense. Yes, it should be gold, but
That's awesome.
Because
The
the
golden
Midas touch.
case.
yeah.
Again, yeah, look, she makes another good point. Difficult mechanics and puzzle solving more than just planning a bomb.
Yep.
It's true. And again, look, for the incursion, that's fine. The coordination, all this coordination and teamwork is good. I enjoy because it's, as you've noticed, it's complete epic fails when you use matchmaking. Like I've told you, from my experiences, from just a random matchmaking, people don't know left from right. People don't jump on comps, whatever. So it's something that it will benefit, and it would also you know basically say, okay, this team is good at coordinating tactics. There's certain elements of surprise, things that you have to do, similar to a raid in Destiny. There's certain mechanics that
Yeah.
have to be applied to this encounter, right, that we don't know about if it's even if it even exists. But it is definitely something that I would like to see. I know a lot of people would like to see in the community, because before Falcon Lost came out with a whole raid type content, that's what people thought, right?
Yep.
So, and I'm pretty sure they're very responsive. I know for a fact that they've seen this in the community, and Yannick and Hamish always, talk about how they're looking through the forums, checking on Reddit, and the whole raid thing is out there. It's not, like some hidden information. It's just out there for everybody to see.
I would
So,
think they would have known before too. The problem with the raid thing, or the potential problem, is that takes months. That takes a lot of planning.
Yeah.
And a lot, it's not something they can throw together in like a month before another DLC. So it's like if they didn't start on that, and they should have known, because everybody's been asking about raid since day one with this game.
Mhm.
What's the end game? What's the raid? What are we gonna have?
Yeah, definitely. The game on our first podcast. I'm gonna repeat this because I've said this again on the first podcast. I said that if this game doesn't have something else or other than DZ and incursions, it's gonna get stale.
Yep.
And a lot of people, we've had quite a few people, at least from our playlist, from people we played, we had a bunch of people play the division, and after 1.1, a lot of people split.
I was gonna say it was more 1.1 than it just getting stale. It was like
Exactly, it was 1.1 for sure.
A lot
The
of
lack of-
glitches. Yeah.
yeah,
The lack of progression, but that it's actually there now. The DZ, like we've mentioned, I've been in there multiple times. You could feel the progression in your character.
Mhm.
You see most of the people, you go by the safe houses, or in the DZ, everybody's, at least the majority of people. If you've been at, if you were already at level 30 when 1.2 dropped, you're already at least over 200 gear score easily,
Mm.
right?
yeah. I was at
So-
186? I might even been 160 something, and then played for a few hours, and I was at like 204.
Yeah.
No, it's so quick.
Which does
Mhm.
bring up, Dark Zone. Should there be more splits? I haven't had a chance to go in there because life's been crazy. But is it okay the way it is, or are people getting ganked still? Like, are there still way overpowered?
Yeah.
People.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me continue in the weekend review because we just kind of went off on that one.
I thought Dark Zone was
we'll-
next. Sorry,
We will, yes,
missed
we'll
something.
definitely get to the Dark Zone. Yeah, just quick points that they did mention about specific gear sets dropping in specific locations. And you remember we're having that conversation about how come what is the weight on Lone Star on these HVTs because they drop it every single time. Well, that apparently, well, not apparently, it is guaranteed, and that's already by design. So they clarified that a few days ago, and they mentioned it now in the state of the game. Hamish put a tweet out about that. So that's why you are seeing a lot of Lone Star drops when you're doing HVTs. It's because of that. Yep. So you get the guaranteed drop, and then the boss can actually drop something else. Okay. So that's what you get from the HVTs. Clear Skies has a higher chance of dropping Predator and Hunter's Faith, which explains why I keep getting Hunter's Faith, which I don't want when I'm doing Clear Sky. And in the DZ, you're looking at Final Measure, which I've got 2 pieces, and I definitely want to get 2 more pieces so I can incorporate them into my set there. But I haven't had a lot of luck with the Final Measure.
I have not had that drop at all. Of course, I haven't been in the Dark Zone at all. Yeah. But I've got 4-piece Lone Star, which is actually pretty good. And
the Lone Star is fantastic.
Yeah. Well, the ammo alone is insane. And then I have a couple of pieces from before 1.2. Well, I mean, they still exist as well. And I try to supplement 2-piece bonuses with that as well, because the 4-piece isn't always the most desirable thing for me to use with my current setup either.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I've been keeping my Sentry so that I get the...
Sentry's great.
Yeah. That benefits the whole group. My 4, headshots benefit the whole group, and then I have the 2-piece from the Lone Star for ammo.
Ammo.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God.
But even the 4-piece set for the Lone Star, Skill Up made a great video. He posted a few days ago. It's just how you can just switch from one weapon to another and just keep firing off. And that alone is just a big DPS increase. Solid Snake, he has a 4-piece Lone Star set, and he was saying, dude, this is amazing because you could just go. You're unload. Once you get low, boom, switch, keep going.
That sounds really good for like Dark Zone too, where you're facing tons of yellows and maybe some other players.
Yeah, even though for the Dark Zone, once you start dealing with PvP, people are building some heavy tanks, let me tell you. And you just can't pump enough bullets into them to get them down. Yeah. But for the DZ real quick, basically, they just touched on it real quick. The one concern a lot of people had would cut the rope. So for the devs, they said that 7% of all the extractions, from 7% of all the extraction, try to cut the rope, right? This is from all the extractions since 1.2. Only 7% were there was an attempt to cut the rope. Yep. Of that, only 3% were successful. That explains. You remember when we had the podcast Saturday, I was saying I didn't experience people trying to cut my rope. 7%. It's a pretty low number.
Yeah. It's funny how they do things like this with statistics and stuff. Though it's like 7% tried to cut the rope, 3% were successful. 3% of those 7. No, I'm sure it was 3% of the total, right? But like.
But I know what you're saying. But we'll keep on going with that. So when it was successful, when they did cut the rope, 20% of the rogues died before picking up the loot. So that means the other 80% actually
it's really dangerous to do it. Yeah, so that's good.
And the flamethrowers are still OP. I just kind of put that in there.
So was it 20% of the rogues died before picking up the loot, or was it like
20%?
I think it's 2/3 of a percent died, right? 2/3 of the percent died.
You know what? You're being too technical now, man. It's just
I don't know.
Really doesn't matter.
I know.
But listen, Tinks brings up a good question.
Well, let's save that for the Q&A.
Oh, okay. I'm just going. It's
We're
just
getting there anyway.
Since it's it's just such a short week.
Well, if you want to just throw in Q&A now, that works too.
It's just such a short week that
we can
just incorporate it for sure. So she's saying that the end game is fairly good for an evolving game. Do you guys think if they keep going at this pace, you will keep playing, or do they need to evolve and put out content faster?
I'll keep playing at this pace. Yeah. I think that not everybody will. It's not the pace. The pace is fine. It's
quality of the content.
It's what's coming out. We need, and especially when it's going to be paid DLC, not free DLC. I want more story. My paid DLC should continue the story with Keener or something, even if not that. in some kind of more closer to a raid thing. Even if it's not a raid, just something that's more than the short incursion, more than the like one. Maybe you could call this one 2 encounters because it's like, but really it's just like open the door and then do the
I
one
think
encounter.
the biggest thing I'm disappointed in is not necessarily the actual content itself, but it's the way you have to spec yourself. Like everybody has to kind of fit into a fairly generic spec in
Yep.
comparison to what originally I thought was being advertised was a game where I could be a healer, and you could be tank, and you'd have to have the variety of.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Are you hearing him like that, Sean?
Well,
It's too
it's
cold in
probably
Canada.
I'm
I
sure
don't
it's
know.
clean on
It's too
his
cold
head,
or
so
too
it'll
hot.
sound good on the podcast.
Yeah, it will.
Sorry, guys, if my connection isn't great tonight. I have a fantastic connection, but can you at least understand what I'm saying?
We can now,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just for a
Now
bit
we
there.
can.
You were faded out.
Okay. Yeah. No. What I was saying is having a variety of class usages, essentially, like
Yeah.
the traditional roles that would be in another MMO, but have it in this genre. I was really excited for that, and just really outside of our first couple weeks playing and actually leveling up in that way, just doesn't exist. It's just
Well,
not
see,
a
that's
thing.
it. With Clear Skies and in the other one, I feel like they pretty much hit the support and healer is pretty much there. Like you
There
need
is,
some support and you
yeah,
need healer.
but there's
The
no
only one
tank.
that's been missing is the tank.
Yeah, there's no tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would like I think we touched on that a little bit last week, but I would love to see some real threat mechanics in an actual tank.
Yes. Yes.
You know, give a 4-piece bonus where when you shoot some guy in the head, it does threat to everybody within 20 meters or something.
Yeah.
Some way for, one person to really take attention. Or shooting with the pistol, so you get the shield, and if you shoot with the pistol, it gets more threat.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Look, the
And
healer
let them
mechanic's
get
there.
tons of health.
Yeah, the healer mechanic is there. Because as it is, if you ever go into, Sean, do you do challenge mode Falcon Lost with us? Yeah, no.
No.
Well, you definitely need a person with high heals in Falcon Lost for the most part, just because you
What?
constantly need that up. Oh, there he goes. It's going all robotic on us.
Yeah, we're not getting any of that.
All right.
That's
Anyway,
what?
It's a what? Anyway, yeah.
High
So
heels.
the healer, the
what was
heal,
that comment?
that woke you up.
Oh, it's just
Combat medic. So
ridiculous.
listen. So
You
you
see
have
Jurassic Park in high heels? Good video.
Maybelline.
Anyway, Maybelline. Oh, don't talk about man cleavage on our show.
Excuse me.
No.
No
We'll
man
keep that.
cleavage.
Keep that to PSN chat. Anyway, look. Okay, back on track.
Oh man.
Serious face. All right. The healers there. We definitely need somebody to take threat, and that will definitely work. As far as the mechanics, though, that we're talking about adding to the raid, for example, right?
I do retract
should
my
say- I'll
previous
just-
statement of none of it being there. It
Yeah.
really does have the healer presence, but it doesn't have the tank, and that's really disappointing for me.
Yeah,
Tank
definitely
springs
the
up
tank.
Tank springs up a point, and I just want to make sure we're not being misleading. Like, there are threat mechanics in the game. I just don't
Yeah,
think they
definitely.
go nearly far enough. I just
Yep.
don't think, it is, if you're out of cover, you do generate more threat than when you're in cover. Plus, there's the silencers and compensators and different things that
Correct.
increase or decrease threat. But I just don't feel it's at the point where you can have somebody run a tank. Like, right now, tell me anybody runs Falcon Lost challenge mode with a tank.
No, it's just
You know?
Well, it wasn't
was
designed
like-
that way, right?
Right.
If you really
Yeah,
want to get
well,
to the
that's-
nitty
yeah.
gritty, it just was not.
We've
designed
slammed on
way.
that one enough.
Yeah.
Before.
Look,
but-
I remember before Falcon Lost came out that that Tarkle, he said, okay, I'm gonna play the tank, and what we were actually talking about strategy wise was, okay, Tarkle can actually throw on the shield, he can put a compensator with increased threat, go flank towards the right, gain some threat from that side while the enemies go face him, start shooting at him. We can flank to the left and take the enemies out, whatever the case might be, but that doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So
I would love to see that.
Yeah, you know what? I would be more than happy to try it out whenever I get a compensator that actually increased threat that I didn't break down. So I'm pretty sure I'll get another one, and I'll see how it works. But
Well, it got to the
That
point, like, even
yeah.
with my sniper, like, if I had a compensator that did more damage than a silencer, I was using the compensator because I didn't care if I had more threat.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah,
It's
because
like
you
they're
never
shooting at
help
me
them.
anyway, it felt like it, so.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
anyway,
how much toughness would you need to really be an effective tank?
dude,
I don't know, I see some of
right
the higher
now
builds are
you're looking
running
at
like
400k
500,000.
toughness.
Yeah.
I've seen four. Marco Sal had a video out there. He's running like 500k toughness, and it's insane how you can
Oh,
survive. And then, yeah, you do 500k toughness, and you definitely go with a 4-piece tactician's gear, right? And you throw on a 2-piece final measure that gives you 50% damage resilience.
right.
Dude, you're basically like unstoppable. Even against the flamethrowers up there in the DZ, you can take quite a bit of beating before you
Oh,
go down. Not to mention your heals come up every other, what, 15, 20 seconds, whatever the
Hmm.
case might be. So, but yeah.
I hate those flamethrower guys.
Mm-hmm.
The
They're
big
best.
ones. The regular ones I can handle. The big ones, ugh.
Yeah,
They're definitely not meant for soloing.
Yep.
definitely.
Absolutely. All right. Did we have any other questions that we wanted to take from here?
Well, we can take questions as we go, I think. I mean, we're still
Yeah.
running through this. There's a next
Yep.
big bullet point that I have no idea what it's about, and I'm really curious.
All right.
The Division movie.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh yeah, I heard about that today. Oh
I
my
saw that
god.
today.
Oh,
Listen, all
Jake
kidding
Gyllenhaal?
aside, all
Jake
man,
Gyllenhaal,
listen,
Gyllenhaal,
he
whatever.
did. Hey, man, he did a great Prince of Persia. I don't know. I don't know about
No,
you.
he did not.
I
Did you guys
thought
see
that
Source
was
Code?
that was
I
a
liked
good
the
movie.
Source Code.
That was a good movie.
Source Code's great. He does a lot of good movies.
Yeah.
But that's
Did
Prince
you
of
ever
Persia
see
wasn't one
Brokeback
of them.
Mountain?
Prince of Persia's dumb.
Jesus, dude. Come on. Did a great, played a great part in Brokeback Mountain. But yeah, the Division movie.
I
can't
don't
keep a
know.
straight face. I
Nightcrawler
got
was really good. There's another one.
Oh my god, I couldn't keep a straight face after a Brokeback Mountain comment.
I definitely
Sorry, I
missed a
laugh at my
joke today.
jokes.
I had 10 hours of just
Someone
insane
has
work.
to.
That's yes,
When
you
things
know,
go
I'll-
wrong with software development. Oh.
Oh my god. Anyway, Brokeback Mountain aside, the Division movie. I know Sean, your wife, when she saw the clips that they had. Oh, did we lose him? No, he's back. Okay.
Yeah, he's back.
Okay. The
I've
Division
heard from other
movie.
people too that like don't even play video games that happen to watch it because they saw it on Amazon Prime. They saw the shorts,
Mhm. The
put
shorts, yeah.
together in that one nice clip on Amazon Prime, and they're like, "Oh, when's this show coming out? This is awesome."
Yeah. No, it was awesome. I know
Yeah.
my wife. She was saying, "Oh, are there more episodes?" I'm like, "No, there's no more. This is it." It's like, what?
Yep.
I know your wife had the same
Mhm.
expression, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people did as well. So, but yeah, you know what? For all the haters are gonna say out there, "Oh, well, I'm gonna throw up in my mouth," and this thing sucks. Why they're making a Division movie? You know what? Because it's one hell of a story. It's a very good story if you put it out into a movie.
I could definitely see
I
that
for
being
one-
a good movie.
Yeah, definitely. Why not? You know how many, not casualty, sorry, end of world apocalyptic type
Yeah.
movies are out there? Come on, man. That'll work out fine. That'll be great.
Okay.
Mike, thank you for your interest in the conversation. Move along.
I'm listening to you guys go on and on about this thing, and it's like, okay, well, I am just gonna keep my opinion to myself. But
No. So you didn't like Brokeback Mountain? What's your problem?
listen, keep the homophobia to a minimum. The Brokeback Mountain is a fine movie. If you really want to get into it, we can, but try not to be that on air. The idea of a Division movie doesn't bother me. I just don't think it'll be anything that great. The story in the game is actually excellent for video game stories.
Yeah.
But if history has taught us much, there really aren't that very many good video game adaptation movies. So,
Agree.
Well, as
Like
long as
Assassin's
U-Bowl does
Creed-
it, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
what's that?
As long as U-Bowl does it, I think it'll be fine.
Is it? Sorry?
Never mind. Joke's
U-Bowl.
gone.
Wow.
U-Bowl. He did like Blood Rain, and there was a few other He did a few video game movies, and they are all just
Yeah.
absolute garbage, like the worst movies ever made.
Well, look, Resident Evil was a good. I like Resident Evil. Do you guys not like the
I like
Resident Evil?
those. I do.
I like those.
They're a lot
Those are good.
Yeah, those are good, fun movies, but I don't expect them to be Shadow
Not big
is good.
hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last one I think is going to be out either later this year or the beginning of next year.
Yeah.
Supposed to
I'll
wrap
keep
it
an
up.
eye out. I saw the first few, and then I definitely haven't seen
There's
all
5 of them.
But they're
I
fun.
think there's
Yeah.
5 of them in that actual Mila Jovovich chain.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah. Multi-passes and all.
Yeah.
But
Lilo Dallas. That's
Yeah.
the thing else.
but definitely, I don't know. I just think that the actual story to the division might appeal to a lot more people. That's just me.
Oh, it's definitely way more of a mainstream type of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't there something recently that was virus warfare in a movie? Which is basically, what this is. Spoiler alert.
No.
Yeah.
Somebody
little
released the
late.
virus.
A little late, but there are. This is all has to do with some kind of catastrophic virus.
One of my favorite books, and was made into a decent miniseries too, is The Stand. Stephen King's The Stand. Very similar.
Yes, that was a great. I love The Stand.
Yeah, The Stand is awesome.
Mhm.
Not a video game adaptation.
Yeah.
But,
This is the video game
The
adaptation of The Stand.
Oh my god.
This is the video game. Yes, absolutely.
It just doesn't have Trash Can Man, but that's
Yeah.
all right.
I love Trash Can Man. He's
Yeah.
the best part of the
The
thing.
cleaners got him though.
Yeah. Look, Tanks brings up another one, Silent Hill. That was look, and
Sure, yeah, that was pretty terrible.
what was that? Labor into the Grande.
No, Silent Hill wasn't
Yeah,
bad.
is it-
Alone in the
First
Dark
one
was
wasn't bad.
terrible.
The second one was garbage.
Part 1 was good. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
But anyway, moving along.
Is that enough of a segue? I thought this was going to be a short show. We're up to 40 minutes again already.
Oh my god. Hurry up, hurry up.
I let Julio go. It'll be way longer.
Yeah, don't get me motivated.
Here we go. So what's next on the agenda here? We finished the week in review. Moving on to the tip of the week.
See, this is what happens when we get show notes done in 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, tip of the week.
Tip.
Come on, Julio.
What tip?
That's a great
Wow,
tip.
this guy.
That's a fantastic tip. Wow. All right.
You know what? There just hasn't been enough time for me to give out a tip. It's just wow. I forgot about the tip of the week. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Are there any other questions though, as well out there?
Oh
This is a
man.
Bill Gong show right now.
awesome.
All right.
Next
So
Thursday, I
anyway,
promise it'll be better.
for sure. Yeah, we didn't have a chance to really do a lot of prep for this show.
I haven't
But,
been able to do anything this week.
The next
We're
section
talking
really
from
is
the heart.
the
It's
next,
a lot from the heart.
You have a heart? Okay. The next one is shout-outs from the Dark Zone. Take it away, Julio.
Burn. Tinks has a
Ah.
question.
Tinks has a question.
Yeah. What's the
What's
tip of the week?
week? I'll tell you what. I will get back to you. Let me do the shout outs. Let me see. If I
Don't
can
drink
think
and
of some-
drive. There's the tip of the week.
Oh man. Preparation. All right, shout outs. MogNation.com, MogPSN, the Division forums, and the Discord as well. The Twitch viewers, podcast listeners. Skill Up for putting out a bunch of great videos. I know he's basically like going on the radar, but he's getting more notoriety out there, especially when the devs are talking about you. So that's great. Tinks, the girl from Bombshell Jackets, we actually gave him I don't know if we gave him a shout out. We did mention them in our first podcast, just
we
because
did.
we loved that intro that they had there. It was just hilarious.
Yes.
I was as well with the the Rogue Agent Radio guys. For people that want to listen to another podcast, it's all in good. All you know what? Every now and then I see
good people too.
every now and then I see my timeline, but since there's just so much on Twitter, and then all I see is hashtag boob clap. I still don't know what the hashtag boob clap is about. It just looks funny, but I guess I'll find out one day. They are a creative bunch.
Oh, man.
I'm still thinking about the tip of the week, by the way.
Yeah, you know what's amazing is I didn't get the link for the actual show notes until right now. I was going off of last week's show notes.
Oh wow.
So this
That's
very
really good,
special
man.
moment for me. Yeah,
Good
it's awesome.
job.
No, I've just been going with whatever you guys are saying, and I used the last
Wow.
week's show notes for the cap and the
Wow.
foot, right?
Yep.
That's about it. So
Good
good.
job.
I'm classy broad.
If we can at least just to give everybody an idea of what the show notes would look like if we were to put it on paper, I don't think they would take up half the page with how much we wrote.
No, it's really very.
No,
limited.
we're usually pretty prepared. This is
Yeah,
horrible.
Yeah, but
Really.
But
like
that's
I
because
said,
it's Saturday morning. We got time, and
That's all right. You know
Yeah.
what?
I work
This is
on
the
it all
first one
week.
in our new time slot, and
Yeah.
it's not even in our new time slot.
Oh, man,
It'll
that-
be an hour earlier from here on out. But
Mhm.
most
that's
likely,
all right.
or half an hour. I don't know. To be
Yeah, sure.
determined.
To be determined.
Yeah,
Sure.
8:30 might be good. That gives
Yep.
anyway. Other games, which we think skipped last week, but I have to bring up Doom because my buddy brought Doom over last weekend, and I played straight through the story.
Yeah.
And that is really, really, really good. Way better than I was expecting.
Yeah, I've heard. No, you told me. Tarko was playing it as well, and I know some of the other guys were playing it. They said they've had quite a bit of fun.
Yep.
You know, it's just basically Doom.
The glory
up in
kills are
modern era,
just
yeah.
Yeah, he's actually bringing it with him next week when he comes to Canada
Nice.
from Brazil. Yeah,
Awesome.
which is awesome.
Nice.
Is he gonna be on the
also-
show next week then?
Yeah, he could be on the show.
Yeah, he's gotta be on
Oh
the
no,
show.
not next week.
Carlo,
It'll be the
Tarko's
week
gonna make a
after
cameo.
because
after.
he comes on the Friday. He won't
Okay.
be here until the Friday.
Ah.
He'll be on the week after.
All right, that's good. That's good. 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and then Tarko can just pop up in the back and do one of these.
That'll be creepy as hell.
I actually expect to see that bearded Brazilian saying something.
Yep.
Fair enough. Well, he's offered to be on the show before anyway.
Yeah.
But in another game that I play called Paragon, people have probably heard of it. It's still alpha-ish. It will be free to play very shortly, but you can pay to play it in the open alpha.
Yeah.
They've released another character called Richter, which is an energy-based tank and looks kind of awesome and is really, really fun to play with. I got a chance to play with him like twice. Super casual game, so it's like over lunchtime. Pick it up and play for half an hour to 40 minutes, and then put it down and go back to work. MOBA, really fun.
I would like to contribute to the segment, but I only play the Division. What else to say?
That makes one of us.
Oh man, I'm still looking for the proper rolls of my gear. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yep.
All right.
What about the other D word? Have you played that at
Oh.
all? Julio? Because you used
You
to
know,
be just
I have-
you used to be straight up addicted to that game. You used to run like
No one played as much Destiny as
Yeah. Tuesday
There's
night.
only-
You would
there's
run like
only
every
one
raid,
person.
hard
There's
modes,
only,
challenge
there's only
modes.
one person that actually has more time than me playing Destiny from our group, and that's Mr.
Yes,
Shango.
yeah, he does.
I think he's got me beat by what, like 100 hours maybe.
That might be more.
Well, now probably a lot more, definitely. No, but you know what? It's just I've said it before. I tried playing Destiny the other day. Unless you guys are doing a raid and we want to do something, and then you guys tell me, "Hey, join
Yeah.
up and we'll do." Then yeah, I'll do it. But other than that, I really won't. I don't have the inclination to jump in. I told a buddy of mine that he works with me, and I know he just got his friend. Him and his friend are playing. He told me, "Oh, we're like level 291," and I told him, "Well, I'll tell you what, you guys are actually ready to do a regular mode, at least Kingsfall. You know, get some good gear, especially at the rate that they're dropping gear now, right? Do a Kingsfall on normal mode, so you can learn the mechanics, and they won't do a hard mode. And so yeah, so I'll do something like that. You know, help people
Yeah.
through. But
Yeah.
just for me to sit down, you know how before I was just pugging it up like crazy, doing whatever I can, leading a raid. It's just not. Yeah.
The
So
way-
if you
the way
invite
you-
me, I will go.
The way you play, it makes me think that the Division's probably gonna lose you as soon as Battlefield 1 drops.
Battlefield is months away.
That looks really good though.
Yep.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
wait to see more. Hopefully, we get some more at E3.
Yeah.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah. The other thing
Yeah.
that's taking up my time right now too is we're in tournament season, competitive tournament season for the tabletop game I play called HeroClix. And in fact, on Saturday of this week, I am defending my title as the provincial/state champion of Ontario. So that'll be interesting and challenging, and I'm a little nervous, but at the same time, very prepared. So bring it, bitches.
Nice.
Yep.
Kick some ass.
Mm.
Awesome. Just like I told you, keep your survivor link handy. Yeah, but definitely, all kidding aside, good luck, definitely with that.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Go show them why they call you champagne.
Campaign. Yeah. All right, so I think that's bringing us near to the end of our show here. We just discussed the other games. Were there any other questions that anybody has submitted before we go to our outro?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I still don't have a tip of the week.
I already gave it. Had nothing to do with gaming.
I promise I have one. I'll have one
I think a
Thursday.
good tip of the week is that when it comes to a game like this, sometimes you have to stick with it for a little while, even when stuff does go awry, and not
Thank
run
you,
it off
Mike.
altogether,
Thank you.
even though things are kind of crappy for a little while.
Yeah.
And the makers tend to listen to the people who are playing it enough to be able to make the adjustments necessary. And when
Yeah.
big bugs happen, they do, and it's ugly and it sucks. They will solve them as quickly and efficiently as they possibly can because this is how they make their money.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's our show. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Twitch, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and of course, check out our website, intothedarkzone.com. You can also send us feedback via any of these sources. This show will be available as podcast in audio form, rather, on iTunes and Podbean shortly, probably within the next 2 days, as that is Julio's duty. And also tune in next tune in next Thursday at 8 or 8:30 p.m. depending on what we feel like, apparently.
It's a work in progress.
And the condition of our cars. But yeah, please do tune in. It's always a pleasure to see people actually listening to us and watching us. And with that, I bid you adieu.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
I bid you farewell. Hasta luego.